Joel Layden reporting live from Jerusalem. Standing with me is Sir Ronald Cohen. On the occasion of Israel's 60th anniversary birthday, what message do you have for the Jewish people?
May we continue to go from strength to strength and achieve peace.
What were your impressions of George Bush this evening here in Jerusalem?
I think Israel has seldom had a more steadfast friend, and I think the audience here showed its full appreciation for that.
What are you looking forward to in terms of this conference?
It's very appropriate that Israel should look ahead now. The state of Israel is properly established, and that it should try to define the way forward for its citizens, Jews and Arabs and others alike. And I think this conference may well result in setting down a strategy that the state can follow over the next 10 years for the benefit of all its citizens and for the benefit of peace in the region. Well, I was a speaker in the session about Israel's economic future, and can Israel achieve a frontline position among nations that achieve a high standard of living? The answer that I provided to that question was yes, it can. The question was over the next 20 years or so, and the answer is yes, it can. But to do that, it has to make sectors of its population more productive than they are, and that includes both the religious citizens of Israel, the very Orthodox, and the Arab citizens of Israel. And I think, having been privileged to participate in the building of Israel as a high-tech power, I think it is an achievable goal, and I think if Israel put its mind to it, 10 years from now, those two populations will fare a lot better than they do now.
You have been one of the most proactive, one of the most beautiful people who have come forward in terms of helping Israel's infrastructure, in terms of supporting Israel's economy as a catalyst for growth. What areas of growth do you see emerging in the next few years?
I mean, there's no doubt at all that high-tech will continue to be an area of growth. And I believe that the life sciences will follow in the direction of the technology sector. I also believe that financial services, which the government is beginning to identify as an opportunity, may well develop. But paradoxically, the greatest boost to the Israeli economy would come from peace with the Palestinians. If the Palestinian GDP were to treble from $4 billion, where it's been stuck for the last 7 years, to 12 billion, what do you think would happen to Israeli GDP? It would also rise. And so somehow we have to get ourselves into a situation where moderate people on both sides seize the opportunity to create a better life for Palestinians as well as all Israelis. And that is my fondest wish for the future.
Sir Cohen, what challenges do you see facing Israelis and Palestinians regarding building our future together?
I think the biggest challenge today is to move away from just trying to deal with security and with politics in an isolated fashion that is separated from economics. I believe that economics make peace possible. And so I have devoted a good chunk of the last 5 years with my colleagues at the Portland Trust, through our offices in London, in Tel Aviv and in Ramallah, to helping Palestinians develop their private sector. We have supported the efforts of Palestinian entrepreneurs to build 15,000 homes, affordable homes, on the West Bank.
So let me ask you a question. So what do you say then to those that would say, well, you're aiding the enemy?
I know that that is a long-standing reflex of many people. But the reality, as we saw in Northern Ireland, is that poverty breeds extremism, and extremism breeds violence. And if you're going to break that vicious circle, you've got to strengthen the moderates who are interested in building a normal life for their families and who would like to try to bring some normalcy to their existence. And so I would say that my experience of the last 5 years through the Portland Trust has convinced me that the majority of Palestinians want peace just as a majority of Israelis do. Our challenge is to help the moderates along that road. The Palestinian people have a very high level of literacy, 97% literacy. Egypt, in comparison, only has 57% literacy. They have long traditions of expertise in finance, in entrepreneurship. Their economy could be three times the size it is today. But with all of the problems that are posed by the conflict, with the difficulties that extremists create by provoking, we can only arrive at a common goal of peace by a concerted effort to develop the Palestinian economy and the Palestinian private sector in particular.
Something out of a blueprint that Steph Wertheimer had put together.
Yes, I think Steph Wertheimer and all of us at the Portland Trust are on exactly the same page.
What is the Portland Trust?
The Portland Trust is a not-for-profit British foundation that devotes its efforts to economic developments that will further the cause of peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
Are you traveling to Palestinian areas while you're here?
Yes, I've been to our Ramallah office many times, not this time, but I will be in Bethlehem at the Palestinian Investment Conference on the 21st of May, lending our support to Palestinian efforts to develop their private sector.
Do you believe the majority of Palestinians sincerely and truly seek peace with Israel?
I believe, yes, I do believe that. And I believe that the constant provocation of extremists, which leads to retaliation, is an effort to derail that process, just as happened in Northern Ireland.
Joel Laven speaking with Sir Ronald Cohen, one of the truly great leaders of the Jewish world today.